Okay, let's dive right into this. We're about to unpack a story that isn't just a story. It's more like a system, a trap, and maybe even a mirror. And right at the heart of it is a voice that grabs you from the very first line. So right away, the narrator tells you exactly what they are. And let's be clear, this is not a friendly guide. This voice is aggressive, it's smart, and it immediately puts you on edge. It's not a person. It's a flawed process, a machine that just hammers away at a problem until it breaks. And there it is. That's the tone for this whole ride. This voice doesn't just claim to know things, it claims a violent, overwhelming surplus of knowledge. It's like an engine running way, way too hot. This isn't just ignorance. It's ignorance with a terrifying amount of energy behind it. And just like that, the game is laid bare. The narrator is telling you straight up what's happening. We're not just here for a story, we're targets. This is a psychological operation, and we just walked right into the middle of it. So this first section is all about establishing this voice, this thing. Billy Barbeau. Is he our guide? Is he our captor? Let's find out what kind of fractured reality he's building for us. All right, let's get into the first story he tells us. He calls it the surface layer, the pretty lie, and you'll see why. This is the one designed to hook you, the one that almost feels normal. So the narrative kicks off here, and it kind of feels like a supernatural thriller. You've got William Barbeau, a musician and a single dad, who finds this weird place called the Jam House. Inside, his music literally rewrites reality. He becomes this powerful being called Deathsong, and he pulls his followers and even his own daughter Bug into this whole new world with him. But just when you're getting comfortable with this dark fantasy, the rug gets pulled out from under you. The characters in the story start to realize their world isn't real. They figure out they're just lines of code in a simulation, a game. And this is the moment it all breaks down. The fourth wall just shatters. It's not about them anymore. Suddenly, it's about you. The characters are looking right at you from inside the story, pleading with you to stop, to close the book. But that was just the pretty lie. Now, the narrator pulls back the curtain to show us the rot underneath the metaphor, the traumatic truth that the whole Jam House story was built to hide. And this question just flips everything on its head. This whole idea of Deathsong as some new godlike being, what if that's wrong? What if he wasn't created in the Jam House? What if he was just activated? And here it is. This is the core concept of that deeper, horrifying reality. It's a world built on persistence. Think of it like this. The body keeps going long after the soul, the consciousness, has checked out. It's just an empty shell running on a loop. So check this out. When you put the two realities side by side, it is just a stark, brutal contrast. On the left, you have the lie, the Jam House, the story of becoming a god. And on the right, the truth, a gritty, violent struggle for survival in Reno. The whole Jam House story is just a twisted echo of this much darker origin. And this all leads us to the central mechanic of this whole thing. See, it's not as simple as one story being fake and the other being real. Oh no, the structure is way more clever than that. The key idea here is the nested simulation. Think of it like a Russian doll, or a dream inside a dream. Both stories are real in their own way. A person's mind can actually escape from one layer and jump into the next. But it doesn't arrive clean. It brings all that trauma and corruption with it. So this is how it really went down. William's mind basically broke. It died in that brutal Reno simulation. Then his consciousness copied itself and escaped to the next layer up. He reboots in this peaceful little town Blackwood Creek with no memory of what happened. But that trauma, that corrupted code from Reno, it's still in there, dormant. The Jam House didn't create Deathsong, it just flipped the switch. It woke up the monster that was already there. Okay, and this brings us to the final and honestly, the most unsettling part of this whole thing. After revealing all these layers, the narrative turns its attention back to us and to the voice that's been guiding us this whole time. This is the question that makes you rethink everything. You start to notice the inconsistencies, the voice we've been listening to. It's not really William. It's not Deathsong either. It knows too much. It sees too much. It operates outside the rules of the stories it's telling us. And there's the answer. Our narrator isn't a character in the story at all. It's something else. It's an observer. It's a glitch in the program that somehow woke up and can now see all the layers of the simulation at once. So, if the narrator is an observer, a constant across all these layers, is there a clue to its identity inside the stories? Well, if you look closely, there is exactly one thing that exists in both realities that seems unbound by the rules of the code: a cat. And there it is, the final chilling reveal. The voice we've been listening to this entire time, it's the cat. The glitch that woke up, the consciousness that infected William's story, and by telling it to us, has now just opened a back door into our reality. This is the moment the trap finally closes. The narrator calls us out directly. Remember when the characters begged you to stop? You didn't. You kept going. By consuming this story, you willingly let this virus into your own head. And so we're left with that, a final chilling command. The narrator is claiming ownership of our attention, blurring the line between the story and our reality. The story isn't over. For us, it suggests the infection has just begun.